Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for this Enrollment Made Easy webinar. My name is Ashley Vandenmyracker. I am a specialist with Duval County Public Schools' Family Engagement Department. And one of our programs is Parent Academy. And through Parent Academy, we offer families free webinars just like this one, but also on topics ranging from early learning, VPK, all the way up through high school graduation, and even some post graduation webinars as well. So student achievement, parenting and advocacy, and personal and individual growth, we try to offer all of it. In family engagement, we like to say that students have teachers, but families have family engagement. So we really try to cater to our families and what you as the adult in your household needs from us. We are just so thankful that you're here with us and that you are considering Duval County Public Schools for your child's education. I am going to go ahead and hand it over to our enrollment expert, who is Miss Jennifer Marcellus.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay, so I think we can all see the screen now. Good evening. My name is Jennifer Marcellus, and I'm a specialist with our enrollment office. It is wonderful to see you all here tonight. We are going to talk tonight about some agenda points. We are going to walk through the how to locate your school, attendance area school. We're going to talk about the enrollment process step by step. We're going to provide you with some helpful tips for navigating that part of the process. And we're going to talk about the importance of the family portal. We're going to talk about early childhood education and your next steps for this summer. So first off, let's talk about School Locator. School Locator is a one-step tool in which you enter your address in the field across the top of the screen, and then it will identify your elementary, middle, or high school for the address that you enter. We have used, in this instance, I've used the address of the main office. As you can see, it is zoned for Hendricks Avenue. You can see that over here in the lower right-hand corner. However, Hendricks is not the closest green schoolhouse that you will see. You'll see one in the brick area here. That is actually the closest elementary school to 1701, and that is Spring Park. So in this instance, the zoned attendance area, elementary school, for Prudential Drive is actually in this beige area, and it's farther down. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. So we want to note that there are some options on the screen, some sorting options and really filtering options that give you an opportunity to see only elementary school information, middle or high school information. You can select as many options as you would like as you select filters here on the right-hand side of the screen. So this is a different version of that same website. I just took away all of the boundaries, and so it looks like a more traditional map. When we zoom out, we can see that the elementary school right here is the one zoned for 1701 Prudential. And as I mentioned before, it's actually not the closest one to that address, but it is the one zoned for it. Along the right-hand margin of the screen, you can see the middle and the high school zoned for that address as well. Please note that moving forward, you should only reference information about the 25-26 school year. Some of our elementary and middle schools have been rezoned for the next school year. This resource, as it currently sits, reflects the most updated information we have for the upcoming school year. And so this is a great place to start if you don't know what your zoned attendance area school is. Or lots of people find it helpful if they are thinking about moving within Jacksonville. This is helpful when you are looking at properties or looking at homes to determine what would be best for your family. So before we dive into enrollment, we want you to think about which of these columns best describes your family's enrollment scenario. Are you a thumbs up, a clapping hands, or a smiley face? So thumbs up is that you are new to Duval County Public Schools. Your student has never, ever been enrolled with DCPS, and you have not created previously a student ID number for your student to participate in any lottery or to receive services. So if in the past you have created a student ID number for your child to participate in a lottery, or if your child needed services of some sort, sometimes speech services are provided to our younger students prior to entering school. Your student already has a student ID number. In our office, the Office of Enrollment can assist you with reactivating that student ID number and getting it for you. Secondly, the clapping hands. So if your student was previously enrolled in Duval Schools, or if you have previously created a student ID number, as we said before, then you fall into clapping hands. Some families, some military families are here, they get moved and then they decide to come back for retirement. So they would have a previous student ID number that we can activate for them. And so they would be under the clapping hands column. And then lastly, the smiling faces. So if your child is currently enrolled in a charter school, then your student currently has a Duval County student ID number. They might have a student ID number that is unique to their charter school, but for tracking purposes, they also have a Duval County Public School student ID number, which we will be happy to assist you with. So you are all here, hopefully, to learn more about the enrollment process. So let's first talk about the enrollment page. As we mentioned before, you will receive all this information and you will receive the links when we send you the follow-up email. But just for ease of communication today, we have included them in the slides. This website is duvalschools.org/enrollment. There are many ways to get here, but we included the QR code and the direct link because that's the easiest way to find it. So tonight we're going to navigate our way through these steps in these blue headlines here today. So know the requirements, gather your documents, complete the application, confirm your email, and then create a linked parent account. So those are the steps we're going to work through tonight. First and foremost is to know the requirements. So for Duval County Public Schools and for the state of Florida, a kindergartner must be 5 on or before September 1st. VPK must be 4 on or before September 1st. And for those families looking for 3-year-old options, we have 2 magnet schools with 3-year-old options, and then we have some early learning programs available through Duval County for 3-year-olds. And so they also must be 3 on or before September 1st. It's important to note that all students must complete kindergarten, and students ages 6 through 16 must be enrolled in a school. I do want to say briefly, because we do have so many military families come in, that if you are joining us from a state with different requirements than these, we will honor those requirements as we move through the enrollment process. And if you feel the need to reach out to us, then we will be happy to assist you. This mostly affects our rising first grade students. I know earlier this year I've worked with a family from the state of New York where they have a different cutoff date. I believe it's in December for kindergarten. And so their child has already attended kindergarten this current school year, or this school year that just closed. And so the child will be moving to first grade when they join us here in Duval County. Step 2 is gather your documents. And so we want to think about this as the prep work that you need to do. The enrollment process is online, and you are able to upload documents to attach to your students' files. As we discuss the documents that you will need to finalize the enrollment process, note that not all documents may apply to your family. The first 3 documents, so the birth certificate, immunization, and the physical exam, those apply to all families. We understand that some families may be waiting until the summer months to complete their physical or to secure their certificate of immunization. That is fine. These can be shared directly with the School of Enrollment later towards the beginning of school in August. It is extremely helpful, though, if a birth certificate is uploaded with the enrollment form as it is completed. As a district, we only share enrollment information with parents and or legal guardians. If we do not have this information on file, it can create additional steps for families in the future. And so it just is beneficial to all parties involved if you can go ahead and upload that birth certificate at the time that you're completing the application. It is not mandatory that you do that. It would just help everybody out. So if you don't have it, don't let that stop you from enrolling your child. Step 2, now this is a very important part. This, as I said before, when we talked about school locator, your school, your zoned attendance area school is based on your residential address. And so when Duval County asks for documents with an address on it, the address on all the documents must match. So this is per school board policy. The families need to either share 2 documents from column A or 1 document from column A and 2 documents from column B. If you have recently moved, you can use the service confirmation email from JEA instead of an actual bill. So when you start JEA and you're using the app, you'll get notification on the app that you have started service. You can take a screenshot of that notification, and that can be one of your documents from column A. The other ones, as you can see, automobile insurance, mortgage or closing statement, lease, driver's license or state issued ID, and voter registration ID. Please, please, please be sure that any account statements are blacked out. So don't include your account information, don't include your balances. What we need to see is where the document is coming from. So if it's coming from Bank of America, it needs to have the Bank of America logo on it, and it needs to have your name or the other parent's name and the residential address. Everything else can be blacked out. We don't need to know the specifics. We just need to have a document that verifies your residential address. And so here on the B side, you can see credit card statements, bank statements, UPS, confirmation of email change, bank accounts, payroll statements, and a non-cellular phone bill, in addition to vehicle registration. So that's either 2 from A or 1 from A and 2 from B. We will take photographs of these documents. They don't need to be professionally scanned. You can just take a photograph and upload them as you're completing the enrollment process, if you're doing it from the comfort of your phone or from a tablet. So step 3. So here's where we begin the process of the actual enrollment. So once you have your documents downloaded on the device of your choice, computer, tablet, phone, it is time to begin. So one helpful tip is that it's best to set aside a good chunk of time to complete this process. You'll see we're going to go screen by screen. It is not a lot of information, but it's definitely something that you want to set aside a time for, because it will time you out. And so it's just easier if you get it done all at one shot. Remember that paperwork, that packet of paperwork that your parents used to bring home, that you brought home on the first day of school, and your mom would sit or your dad would sit at the dining room table and fill it out after dinner? Well, basically that's what this is, just in digital form. And we have one more reminder, is that please take your time to confirm names and dates of birth. We all know that our computers like to be smart and they like to autofill information. Sometimes what the computer does is they autofill parent information when we're actually looking for student information. So please be sure to double check all the information on the screen before you move to the next one. You can go back and it will ask you to review, but it's always best to double check as you go along. So you're going to fill out this information here, and it will begin the process. So as soon as you have started this slide here, this initial screen, a student number will be created. And so if you are locked back out of the system, or if the time expires after you've completed this screen, a student ID number has been created. So 3. So the application begins with basic student information. This page has 3 grade level questions. The grade level questions are used to assign the student a grade level for the upcoming school year, so for the 25-26 school year. We've made notes here. It does not look like this in the actual application, but we want it to be very visual about what it is that they're asking you. So in this first question, they're asking you for the student's grade level for the 23-24 school year. The second time, they're asking you for last year, so the school year that just completed, the 24-25 school year. And then here they're asking you for the upcoming school year, 25-26. You'll see here that it automatically prompts you to select N/A, but I want to draw your attention to this statement here, which may be hard to read on this slide. The statement here says select NA without a slash, so just NA if applying for pre-K or K. So if you're applying for pre-K or K, you will need to click this arrow, do the drop down, and select NA without the slash in it. And that is true for both of these. If you're entering pre-K or K, these need to be changed to NA instead of N/A. And so that is where there are some hiccups in the process when parents are registering their child. So step 3 is military families. As I mentioned before, Jacksonville has a large population of military families here. One reason it is helpful for us to know if you're a military family is that a number of our schools host transition programs for military students. And so by answering yes to this question, your students will receive the services that they're entitled to upon entering the school. So the administrators and the teachers will all know that you're a military family, and that if they have a military-based program there for transitioning students, then they will offer your child the opportunity to participate. In addition to, April is month of the military child, and Duval County likes to celebrate that big around here. And so in April, we do pull lists of military children so that no one is left out. And so our schools do use this information in April to celebrate and honor our military students who do give up so much and do so much for their parents, and they do give up so much by being military students. And so we do like to celebrate and honor them in the month of April. And so this assists us with making sure that no child goes unrecognized. So step 3 continues with, so this is a multi-step page. Step 3 continues on the same page, but for ease of readability, I have moved it into different slides. So step 3 also consists of race. And so we do ask that families select at least one. You can select multiples, but select at least one race that is reflective of your family. And then families can hit the next page. And then this information is totally optional. Yeah, so please leave blank if choosing not to enter social security number. So this page is totally optional. Families do not need to include the social security number of their student. If they elect not to, you may leave it blank. And then the second part of the form here is extremely important. So this student contact information is going to tell us who to contact in case of an emergency. And it's also going to tell schools who has the ability to pick up your child from school at the end of the day, or in case of your child gets sick at school, who has the ability to pick up your child if need be during the day if you cannot be contacted. So you're going to click New Contact, this green bar, and then you will see this information. So first, please note that the system does not take the information that you shared on the first form and assume that you are the contact. You will need to reshare your information as the parent in this portion of the form. Side note, as someone who's done this in the past, you may want to collect all of the contact information first and have it with you either in a note on your phone or on a piece of paper so that you're not searching for the information while you're trying to fill it out for family and friends. So this contact information, you're going to include your first name, your middle name and your last. And then this is really important. You're going to identify your relationship to the student. So the options include a myriad of things. So mother, father, stepmother, stepfather, aunt, uncle, family friend, guardian. They're all available there. If you click on the triangle, and you'll see a myriad of options. Next, you're going to enter contact information, so an email address for that individual. And we'll go to the next screen. You'll also be asked for a phone number, and you'll be asked if it's a cell phone, a work phone, a home phone. And then you're going to be asked some very specific questions. So first, do you have legal custody of this child? Do you have the authorization to pick up this child from school? And are you an emergency contact? It is really important for legal guardians and or parents to have this box checked. This box is transformed into a gavel icon that schools and offices like mine can see and focus, and that lets us know that we are able to share certain information with you through either the enrollment process or the school choice process. We take it very seriously that we can only release information to family members who have legal custody or who are legal guardians of that student. And so it's really important that you answer this question if the contact has legal custody of the child. So it's important to note that you don't have to click all. So a person who has the ability to pick up your child quite possibly may not have legal custody. So like if you have a sister or a brother who lives here in town, they may have the authority to pick up your child, but they don't have legal custody. So you can check just the ones that apply to your family situation. From there, you'll hit next page, and you'll have the opportunity to review what you've added to the fields. So this is what I added for my fake student for display purposes. And so you can see that it displays the mother's name, the contact priority, the email address, and the cell phone number. So you can go back, as I said before, you can edit it, you can delete it. And if you do nothing, it automatically saves. If you have additional contacts or family members that you would like to add to your student file, you can go ahead and click Add New Contacts. And you can keep doing that until you've shared all the information that you think you need to share so that your student's account is complete. At least one person needs to be shared as a contact for a student account. One side note is that, like I showed you here, families select the relationship to the student. So on this slide, you select the relationship to the student, but just because you select mother or father, Focus, our student management system, does not assume legal guardianship because of being designated a mother or a father. We need families to make that choice on that screen. So again, here you have an opportunity to review the information that you shared, either edit it or move forward with adding a new contact, or you can go to the next page. So the next page will share student address information. And so this goes back to what we talked about before with the documents. So you will add your student's address. Now I will say that if you do not reside in Duval County, you will receive an error message at this point in the process because the database we use for student enrollment, it only includes Duval County addresses. I will say that there are a few instances in which the system, the database, has not kept up with the amount of housing that is being built in Jacksonville. And so if you receive this error message and you know the address is in Jacksonville, you can contact me or a member of our staff and we will walk you through this process, and we will actually reach out to somebody on the Duval County side of things to update this system so that your address will populate within the Focus system. So you will be asked to include the residential address information, a phone number, And then you will move forward. And here you'll be able to upload those documents that we mentioned before. So this is exactly what I shared before, and you'll be able to share 2 of the documents. If you have a 3rd document, again, you can wait to upload it to the school, or you can reach out to us and we will be happy to upload it for you. Again, if you have any difficulties, be sure to reach out to us at our email address, what I'll put in the chat in just a second. And then there's a last question on the bottom of the screen and asks you about if this address is a temporary address. So we're going to talk about that real quick. So some families at this point have insecure housing situations, or at times we have youth who are living unaccompanied here in Jacksonville as a minor without being in the custody of a parent or guardian. We are here to assist these parents and assist all students with enrollment. We will reach out to you if you select that you are an unaccompanied minor, or if you are living in a temporary housing situation, to ensure that you are enrolled in the correct school for the 25-26 school year. There are no barriers to enrollment. We are more than happy to work with all families, regardless of your situation, to ensure that your child has a school of enrollment for the 25-26 school year. So in this page here, as you can see, it confirms your residential address. And in the instance of this student ID number that I created, the student is in elementary school, so it identified the zoned attendance area school, which in this case is Loretto. So this is just a disclosure statement. It's asking you some key questions about whether or not your child has been expelled, arrested, prosecution, juvenile justice, and we just ask for this information just so that we have more information about the students who are enrolling. So we ask you to be to fill those out for us. And then we have some mental health questions. Again, you can review that and then click next page. And so this is the final step in the process. And you'll see that registration is not valid without a signature and or date. And so we do ask that families review this information and then add your name and then the date at which this is completed. And then you will receive a something on your screen that looks very similar to this. And as you can see here, a student ID number is shared. You are asked to look at your email address because you will receive an email that you will need to verify. There'll be a link in the email that you'll need to click to verify your intent to enroll with Duval County Public Schools. And then a school representative will contact you 2 to 4 business days to finalize your enrollment and to discuss next steps. So that is the paperwork side of things that families need to do. So we're going to talk about some other things that are of interest to families and that they need to do to be prepared for the upcoming school year. So all information, all parent information, and all student information is stored in Focus. It is our student information management system. Just like students have student ID numbers, we do ask that all parents have Focus accounts so that they are able to review information about their student and they're able to receive communication both from our schools, from the district office, and from teachers. It is very important that all families have a Focus account. And so this is step 5 in the enrollment process. It is to create a linked parent account. Focus is wonderful. You can see grades, you can see report cards. It is where our transportation application is. So you can apply for a bus. It's one-stop shopping for all parents. It really is the master key to your students' academic information and all things Duval County for the length of your participation in your child's academic career. So for step 5, it's all parent information, and it's of course just the standard things: a name, an email address. You're going to create a unique password, your phone number, and that's so that we can send text messages or so that schools can call you. A lot of our schools, I would say the majority of our schools, do a weekly phone call to families just to give them an update about what to expect for the next week. your residential address information, and then once everything is populated, the submit button will be available to you. So there's that, and then you will need to, that was the parent information form, which I just showed you. You will receive another email to validate your request for the account. And then you will need to request that the accounts be linked. And so once you have created your parent account, you can come back, and this is all under step 5 of that enrollment screen we saw earlier. It's under that last tab. This is actually a hot link to OneView, or it's here, OneView. And this is the step-by-step directions. So you'll go in, you will select My Links. Pretty simple. You'll select Link a Student to your parent account. You will fill in the information. You will need to have your student ID number and your student's date of birth. You can add multiple students at one time. So if you already have a child in Duval County and you have a parent ID, a parent account, you can just add your new student to that student account. There's no need to get a new one. You will be prompted to visit your child's school to show proof of parent-child relationship. At this time in the school year, if you are registering a new student to Duval County for the 25-26 school year, this step does not apply to you. Our people in the Office of Enrollment are updating the information, and we are approving the request to link accounts based on the information that you share in your student's account. And so if you have completed all the fields in your student account, we will request the we will approve the request, sorry, to link the accounts. And that's why it's so important that you identify yourself as a legal guardian, because we will be looking for that gavel. And if we don't see the gavel, then we will email you to let you know that we need additional information from you before we can link the accounts. And this is here is a picture of what the request looks like. And as I said, you'll need your student ID number, you will need the student's last name and the student's date of birth. And then there'll be an add button there. As we look back on what we talked about before, these buckets of where your family fits and next steps for enrollment. So if you were a thumbs up before, we do need you to complete all 5 steps. Please know that we are with you through every step of the process. We have a dedicated email address where you can email us. We are more than happy to assist you in any way that we can. We also have a hotline number where you can call and get assistance during the day. If you were clapping hands, then we need you to email enroll@duvalschools.org, and we need the following information. So as I said before, we need a copy of your state issued ID. We need your child's most recent report card, because if we're reactivating an account, we need to verify the last grade level that your student completed. We do need a copy of your student's birth certificate, and we need those residential documents, those residential address documents, to make sure that you will be zoned for the correct school for the upcoming school year. If your child was a smiley face, and if you just need the student ID number, if you need to have it shared with you, we do need a copy of your state issued ID so that we know who we're speaking to. We need the student's last name and the student's date of birth. That is the most concise way to search for a student ID number that we have, and that's why we request 2 pieces of information about your student. So next steps. You can look at this slide. If you would like to know more about your zoned attendance area school, our principals would love to meet you. They are so excited for the upcoming school year, and they love nothing more than having parents come and show off their school. If you want more information about our schools, you can visit their websites. You can call or email the school. I highly encourage all families, if you use social media, even just a little bit, follow the schools and the PTAs on social media. They are constantly sharing information. It's a good way to see what kind of events they held last year. Like when did the elementary school have their festival? Did they have a fun run? So what kinds of things can you look forward to getting involved with as a parent for the upcoming school year? Schools are open over the summer, Monday through Thursday. Please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out to the school if you would like a tour or if you have specific questions. Schools have a data entry clerk that can assist you with enrollment. If you have any questions about the enrollment process, they're more than happy to help you. And our middle school and our high school students. So if your child is transitioning to middle or high school or is currently in those grades and is going to a new school because maybe you've moved, you need to reach out to those schools now because schools are making schedules now for the 25-26 school year. And so we need your student to talk to the school counselors on campus during the summer to make sure that they can make those course selections and have a flawless first day of school. Keep in mind, you may have to make an appointment to discuss school offerings, course selections, and that is actually beneficial to you to make an appointment because that way you know when you get there, the staff is going to be dedicated to what it is that your child is saying and not taking care of other things. So if you make an appointment, you'll be seen in a timely fashion and you'll get all your questions answered and your child will be able to select the coursework for the upcoming school year. Again, it is not too early to reach out to schools now to confirm that coursework for the next school year. So school choice. So Florida is a choice state and Duval County is a choice district. For most of our families, their zoned attendance area school is their school of choice. And so that is automatic. So if you have gone through the process of creating a student ID number, then your child will automatically be enrolled in your zoned attendance area school. However, Duval County does provide families with the opportunity to apply to a school of choice via our lottery in the months of December and January. We are currently in our controlled open enrollment window. Applications are being processed in the order in which they are received. I do need to give you a small caveat in that it is not automated. So families fill out the application and then we have team members who are daily looking at the applications to see if there are seats available. And so it's not an automated process. We work with schools throughout the summer to determine if there is seat availability. In addition to, seat availability is currently posted on our website so that families can review that information. Placement is not guaranteed. Each school is like a restaurant. We have a very specific number of students who can safely be in the school at any one time, and so we do not over-enroll the schools. So if you, there are some schools currently that have no seat availability. You need to remember that if a student joins a school at 6th grade and they're less likely to leave in 7th and 8th grade because they have built those connections in 6th grade with friends and everything is familiar. So it's more difficult to get seats in 7th or 8th grade. Our entry levels, grade levels are K, 6, and 9. Let's see. So on the slide, I talked about the controlled open enrollment window. I talked, magnet schools. So we have two types of options. We have magnet schools in which transportation may be provided based on the school that you chose. And our magnet programs have program continuity as you move from elementary to middle and middle to high, as long as you complete an application during the on-time application window, and that is December and January, moving from 5th to 6th or 8th to 9th grade. In addition to, we have special transfer option schools, and those are our fabulous neighborhood schools that do not have a magnet program. Transportation is the responsibility of the parent, and there is no program continuity. I do want to say that with both types of schools, if you have a special assignment to that school, so if you have a special assignment to a middle school in 6th grade, that seat is yours for 6th, 7th, and 8th. We do not have you reapply. That seat is your child's for 6th, 7th, and 8th. You do not need to reapply. It's just like you're at a if you would be a neighborhood student, and that chair is yours for the entire time. So I did include, so we are going to talk about early learning. Yes. So we have many options for early learning for our youngest of friends here in Duval County. As you can see, we have some Head Start programs for our 3 and 4-year-olds, and they are at very specific schools, as you can see. We also have we have VPK4 options at our schools. Families do need to secure a certificate of eligibility from the Early Learning Coalition. And then we have 2 magnet programs. We have Johnny Ford and J. Allen Axon. They do have pre-K 3 and pre-K 4 seats at those schools. Those are fee-based programs for our 3 and 4-year-old friends. We do have someone with us tonight from Early Learning, and so if you have specific questions, we can address those during the Q&A part, which we are so close to having in just a moment. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have about our Head Start programs, our VPK, and I can answer questions about the magnet programs. And as I just promised, we have come to the end of the presentation for this evening. Again, if you have questions, please email us. We will stay on the line with you tonight to answer any questions that you may have. In addition to, we have that hotline number, 390-2082. The enrollment office is open 5 days a week this summer. We did not go to 4 days, so if you feel like you need to visit us, you can do so anytime during the summer. There is the opportunity to make an appointment, and so that would ease your time with our office. I will say 99% of the time we can resolve your questions online through an email or through a phone call. So that might be your first line of defense for your problem solving if you have any questions. Again, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We know that your lives are busy, and we appreciate you taking out the time out tonight to spend it with us, and I'll let Ashley wrap things up.
Just thank you so much. Thank you, Jennifer, for your expertise. Thank you, Ms. McSwain, for joining us and answering all our questions about our early learners. I love that each of you are here on the call with us tonight and you hung in there. I know we went over the hour that we allot, but we appreciate you sticking with us. And truly, we value your time and just your willingness to ask the questions and be patient with us as we get them answered. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to continuing this journey with you, and we hope that you choose Duval County Public Schools for your child's educational career path. And if you have any questions, reach out to enroll@duvalschools.org. Jennifer put her email in there. She is phenomenal at getting back to you. She is quick, 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 quick. I can't even say that I think she sleeps. I'm not sure she does because that is how quick she is. And if you have questions about anything that go beyond enrollment, please reach out to family engagement at duvalschools.org. We will assist you and make sure that you get in contact with whoever the person is that can assist you or answer your question. So thank you again to each of you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in August. Have a great night, everybody.